I'm Brad Stubbe, Sheriff of Manatee County. Welcome to Sheriff's Patrol.
And I'm Dave Bristow. Coming up on Sheriff's Patrol, the community steps up in a big way to support law enforcement, and deputies' hard work is paying off in one Manatee County neighborhood. But first on Sheriff's Patrol, we have another new crime-fighting tool, as the Sheriff's Office recently joined forces with Nextdoor. Here's more from Randy Warren.
Dave, Nextdoor is one of the fastest growing social media platforms. Similar to Facebook, but it's more focused on connecting you with the person living next door. And that's where we come in. This is yet another avenue for community policing. The Sheriff's Office is online, sharing crime and public safety concerns with you directly and faster than ever before.
This is cool.
Jan Kaufman checks her Nextdoor page several times a day, or whenever there's an alert.
Something about the IRS scams, vehicle burglaries.
It is nice here.
She and her husband Marty are among the growing number of residents in River Wilderness and other neighborhoods, keeping an eye on what's happening in their area.
I know there was a rash of car burglaries in a nearby area. It came across Nextdoor.
The Sheriff's Office has information on a car burglary trend.
And there was actually a video.
So we send out a post countywide, but it's of special interest to those neighborhoods in the area where the crime or incident has occurred.
So here's one boy looking in the car with a flashlight and his buddies across the street. Car's unlocked, he's able to get in, and they're just rummaging through the car to see what they can get.
The Sheriff's Office has always been very proactive in community relations.
Captain Rick Gherkin and other supervisors are using Nextdoor daily, getting out important information and creating valuable dialogue with these communities.
Here you can see this is a post about the vehicle burglars unlocked vehicles, and in this particular alert that we put out, you can see that we've gotten thank yous from the community on that. We've also received information leading us to other evidence in some of these crimes, such as home surveillance cameras and things like that. You know, we actually know that when we send these messages out that we're reaching the community.
Not only here at River Wilderness, but a lot of the car burglaries we saw recently were at Kingsfield, which is right across the road from us. All the different areas that are right around here. If they use Nextdoor Neighbor, they can let their neighbors know to be on the lookout for stuff like that.
And that's leading to discussion among neighbors on how to prevent these crimes.
It takes less than 10 seconds for somebody to break your window, grab the bag, and they're out of there.
Nextdoor provides good analytics for the Sheriff's Office.
Green ones are neighborhoods that are fully launched.
With the map and metrics feature, we can see how many users are on the network.
We are seeing responses from Anna Maria all the way out to Mayaca.
Who's talking about crime and safety, and which neighborhoods are most active?
That's the Rivers Reach Waterleaf area.
Giving deputies the ability to reach a target audience.
We can fine-tune this down to a specific neighborhood only if we need to, but it also gives us the ability to be far-reaching and hit our entire county, because if we have an amber alert or a silver alert, this is a way for us to push that information out.
I would absolutely encourage any neighborhood, anywhere in Manatee County, to utilize Nextdoor Neighbor. Once you sign up, send that invitation off to other people that are in your neighborhood. It's so easy. It doesn't cost anything.
It's reassuring to know that we're actually getting information out there and we're getting a response from one end of the county to the next.
The information that we post on Nextdoor is also on our Facebook and our Twitter accounts, but like we heard in this story, this is so much more centralized to what's going on in your neighborhood. If you haven't already joined up, do it today and look for posts from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. We're putting information out every day. In fact, I just received information in an email form through Nextdoor about a potential scam in my neighborhood that came from our Sheriff's Crime Prevention Unit. Excellent way to stay up on what's happening next door, around the corner, and throughout the county. Sheriff?
Randy, this is so exciting because of the communication factor that we have now between neighborhoods. And just a real brief example, we had a number of car burglaries take place. The district captain put that information out, and we've got everybody calling in with all the suspicious activity and vehicles that they're seeing right now in their neighborhood. And this is what's going to help us with the crime.
And I had a lady who called me about a bank robbery we had, and she said, you know, I would have known to maybe look out for this person if I'd have known about the bank robbery. I said, well, are you on Nextdoor? Oh, no. I said, well, because she lived real close to the bank.
Oh.
I said, get on Nextdoor, get all your neighbors to get on, and you'll get alerts like that.
Dave, this program replaces eWatch, which was pretty successful, but this is going to be the bomb.
All right, Sheriff, let's stay with technology. You know, we're unveiling a new website. ManateeSheriff.com has been revamped, and we're excited about the new look.
We certainly are. I'm very excited to unveil our new look. It's time. Our older site is a nice site, but it is dated, and we're just very excited to be able to offer a fresher, cleaner look. You'll find that our menus are a lot the same. Up here we have our little house here that represents home. That will always take you back to the beginning. We have this nice carousel of photographs going across here. We can clip through each one of them. And down here, easily accessed links. These are links that we find individuals tend to go to more than any other on the website, so we've made those very available. So we have bureaus, call for service, arrest inquiries. Across the top here we have drop-down menus, so it's very easy to find out the individual bureaus. The executive staff, for instance. A nice picture here of Sheriff Stubbe. And then we have these side menus, and each one actually opens up with a lot of different information on the individual bureaus. So it's very easy to navigate, and it's very clean looking, as you can see. We also have these nice little icons across the top that most people are used to these days. We can click here and get out to our Facebook page, a Twitter feed, and YouTube, and it will take you right to the sheriff's individual pages.
And we also have a new mobile app. The app is available for your mobile device by going to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and searching Manatee County Sheriff's Office. The app allows the public to connect with the Sheriff's Office by reporting crimes, submitting tips, and getting the latest public safety information. Sheriff, just another way that we're trying to open up the lines of communication.
And that's what we've continued to do here, but this is just some amazing stuff. And our website is just going to look so much more professional now. I mean, it's been the same for about 8 or 9 years, so it's time for a change.
No doubt about it. We'll be back with more Sheriff's Patrol right after this.
We have a new BAT program, which stands for a Bike Anti-Theft Program, and allows us to track it if it's ever stolen.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is investigating a serial killer. The killer has taken dozens of lives and ripped apart many families.
She was so into the heroin that she knew that if she told me, then I would have gotten her help. They don't want help. It's not the help they want until they hit rock bottom, and Laura's rock bottom with death.
If you know anyone involved with heroin, please get them help before this killer strikes again.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sheriff's Patrol along with Manatee County Sheriff Brad Stubbe. I'm Dave Bristow. Bicycles have traditionally been a target for thieves, and with that, the Sheriff's Office Crime Prevention Unit has a program to help you get your bike back.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Rob Andrews, and this is a beautiful road bike, and a very expensive one at that. Did you know last year that nearly 7% of all thefts reported to the Sheriff's Office were bike thefts? I'm here today to give you 3 tips on how to prevent your bike from being stolen, and how, if it is, how we can help you find it. We're here with Max. Max, I see you got 2 different type of locks. Give me some information about these locks and how they work and what's the best advantages to them.
Sure. Yeah, what I normally tell our customers that are coming in for a lock to secure one of their bikes, with most bikes nowadays they have quick release wheels, so we want to make sure that nobody can just grab and go with any of the parts on the bike. So we want to make sure that we get the 3 main components of the bicycle: the rear wheel, the frame itself, and the front wheel. And how we can do that is with a cable lock like this. We want to make sure that we get this rear wheel inside the rear triangle of the frame at the same time, which is going to be this area right here. By going through the rear wheel, and I'm specifically going through the rear wheel inside the triangle of the frame. And then we're going to come back around to the front wheel as well. And you're going to notice that that's about a 3-foot loop. When we double that over, that equates to about a 6-foot lock.
Max, I see you got a U-lock here. Can you explain to me some of the features about it and the advantages to it?
Sure. It's going to be a lot harder to get through, period, than something like a braided steel cable. So you would actually put it around the frame itself, and then around a bike rack, or around the wheel, in the bike rack if it's a bolt-on wheel and you're not worried about the quick release coming off. These guys actually offer a protection plan with this where they will cover your bike up to $1,250. Pretty, substantial considering it's a $49 lock, and that's going to cover, a lot of high-end bikes for replacement cost.
Tip number 2. We just heard about how great bike locks are, the U-lock and the chain locks. But what's even better is if you can bring your bike inside your house or your place of work. When you're at home, don't leave your bike outside. Bring it inside your garage, bring it inside your house. Don't leave it in the yard unattended, and don't leave it chained to a tree. Limit that opportunity for someone trying to be able to steal your bike. Tip number 3, come by our crime prevention office. We have a new BAT program, which stands for a Bike Anti-Theft Program. This is how it works. We gather all your information, your phone number, your name, your address, and we also gather the information about your bike, the make, the model, and the serial number. And then we also give you this BAT sticker, which you affix to the down tube of your bike, and allows us to track it if it's ever stolen. Now let's recap. Tip number 1. If you have to leave your bike unattended, use a high-quality bike lock and properly secure it to a bike rack or a fixed object. Tip number 2. Don't leave your bike outside unless you absolutely have to. Bring it inside whether you're at home or at work. Tip number 3. Use the BAT program here at the Sheriff's Office. It allows us to keep your information on file in case your bike is ever stolen so we can contact you immediately. For more information about these tips and a new bicycle anti-theft program, give us a call or visit us on the web at manateesheriff.com, and we're also on Nextdoor and Facebook.
This is another opportunity for our citizens to safeguard their property because, as you well know, a bicycle isn't $50 or $100 anymore. It's thousands of dollars for these bicycles.
Back when I was a college student and getting my bike stolen, it was only $60, $70.
There you go.
But now these kids are riding bikes that are $500, $600, $700
Very
and more.
expensive.
No doubt about it. Let's turn to news from the Sheriff's Office. Our deputies of the month are Michael Mahoney, Brian Padova, and Ray Richter. Employees of the month are Kristen Moore, Jessica Brewster, and Linnell Hauser. We also have the Distinguished Service Award given to Michael Smith and David Staten as the 2 deputies prevented a woman from jumping off the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. In years of service, with 25 years at MSO, Todd Weinert, Thomas Brady, Daniel Janney, Greg Bass, John Shallow, Curtis Wiersma, and Edward Polsma. Reaching 30 years of service are Gary Cumby, Maxie Bragg, Lance Christie, and Josephine Piero. Turning to promotions, our new first-class deputies are Leanna Cadzillo, Rogelio Espindola, Seamus Dwyer, Stephen Matthews, and promoted to sergeant are Christopher Finger and William Coleman. We also have a new captain, Dennis Romano, and promoted to major in corrections is Dan Kaufman. Finally, several retirements to pass along. Thomas Colson, Carlton Adams, Deborah Adams, Tom Salisbury.
There's a family here, and I can attest that it really is. When something happens, people get together. Remain safe in all you do, and I wish all of you the best.
And Sylvia Mayfield. So Sheriff Dan Kaufman taking over for corrections, taking the place of Robert Big Will Williams.
Yep, and Big Will has been just a fixture up there at the Corrections Bureau for nearly 30 years. He began his career there and obviously progressed to the rank of major. But we have I think good things in store with Dan Kaufman taking over.
Yeah, Dan will do a great job up there, no doubt about it. Sheriff, you know, in recent weeks, we've seen many people step up and show their generosity toward law enforcement. An anonymous donor has given us nearly $113,000 for the purchase of tactical helmets. Also, Hugh Culverhouse donated $25,000 to go toward ballistic vests, while Michael Norris gave $12,500 for trauma kits.
To enjoy the security and the blanket of freedom that we do, provided by all the women and men of this agency here, citizens like myself just want to try and help support you. You do a great job, and there are a lot of us that are pretty darn appreciative of everything you do, and I don't think you get nearly enough recognition.
And the Manatee Kennel Club recently donated $13,500 for the purchase of our newest canine, Nico.
It was, the subject was approached that we were about ready to retire one of our dogs. We had canine Barley, who was approaching 9 years old, starting to slow down a little bit from arthritis. He had a long career, very good career. And in the conversation, we started discussing replacing him, and they brought up the subject of purchasing our next canine.
On behalf of the American Kennel Club, the Manatee Kennel Club, and all of our members of the Manatee Kennel Club, we are proud to be part of this organization. We've given another check in past years to help with the replacement of a dog, and this, I hope, will certainly, Sheriff, help you out with Nico, and we hope to continue on this relationship for years to come.
Dave, I'm just so grateful to everybody in our community that has come forward during what are really difficult times, not only in our community, but our state and our country, and law enforcement. So, you know, in addition to all of these monetary gifts, we've had folks delivering pizzas, donuts, imagine that for cops, and it's just been really a great outpouring.
And these people want to do it. I talked to Mr. Hugh Culverhouse, and it was kind of a thrill because I remember his dad owned the Bucks, and then he kind of passed it down to Hugh, and I didn't know he was a former federal prosecutor, and he's just got an amazing background.
Hugh has been a great supporter for law enforcement, and in my entire time that I've known him, just a good guy.
No doubt about it. Hey, we're going to return with more Sheriff's Patrol right after this.
16 deputies, and every one of them is on a call for service right now, within 23 minutes.
Manatee County Sheriff's Office is proud to present the new iPhone and Android app. We remain dedicated to providing the highest standard of service to our residents and visitors. So with this app, you'll find valuable information right on your mobile device. The app, in partnership with thesheriffapp.com, gives you our latest news and events, most wanted listings, sex offender locations, submit a tip, job opportunities, and more. Manatee County Sheriff's Office is available for free in the App Store and Google Play Store. Download our app today.
It's a night I'll never forget. My daughter was just 6 weeks old. I would let her sleep with me because I thought it was okay. That night, she ended up with her head stuck between the bed and the headboard. By the time I woke up, it was too late. She was gone. Here in Florida, infant co-sleeping is the leading cause of death for children under 12 months. Learn more about safe sleep at manateesheriff.com.
No one ever thinks it's going to happen to them. Please stop texting and driving.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sheriff's Patrol. Well, you know, over the years, one of the highest crime rate areas in the county has been an area once known as Duplex City, but now referred to simply as South County or the Pride Park area. Well, that area has seen a significant reduction in crime in 2016.
Okay, Amy, you need me to review your report before it goes in?
Yes.
Alrighty, I appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna head out on the road.
1065, that address.
District 2 is located on 57th Avenue. It's about the 400 block, pretty much in the heart of Oneco. Our patrol for District 2 is 1st Street, west all the way to the water and the islands, north to the river, and south all the way to the county line. So we have probably one of the bigger patrol districts personnel-wise. Anywhere from 46 to 51% of the crime committed in the county is in our district.
I want him trespassed. Because if you don't, when you come back, he threatens to call you guys. I'm going to beat his ass.
Are you listening? Yes. Okay. Regardless, if she calls you or not, you're not supposed to be here. You understand that?
Yeah. Down here we do see it all. It's a pretty heavily populated area, all walks of life. It's the way it goes. Sometimes we're just called in to be the mediators. From 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. we have a total of 8 deputies on the road. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, 24 minutes ago, we had 8 more deputies come onto service. And within the last 24 minutes, we now have 16 deputies, and every one of them is on a call for service right now within 23 minutes. This is typical day-to-day operations for District 2, calls for service. This is when the sheriff talks about the need for more deputies on the road because we don't have time to do proactive law enforcement. We're always responding from call to call. There's very little time in between these calls for service to be proactive and look for subjects that might be out committing burglaries and stealing cars. In spite of that, we are making progress. That's a tribute to the deputies. They keep their nose to the grind and do a good job. I can smell marijuana. About 10 years ago or so, when we were out on patrol, it was exactly what we did. We had a complaint, individuals standing in front of a house selling narcotics, and one of them had a warrant. And we rolled around the corner, and as one of my deputies was running his name on the radio and the confirmation came back that he had a warrant, he took off running, and we were able to roll up just in time and watch him run down the road and go after him in the vehicle while the deputies ran after him on foot. You know, I was able to hop out and catch him. So now here I am 10, 15 years later supervising those units plus more in that very same neighborhood. So when they come and talk to me about community issues and the problems they're having with enforcement and what we need to do about it, I can think back to my days in that unit and say, you know what, this is what we used to do. I know things have changed, but let's think outside the box and come up with new ways to patrol the neighborhoods. Apparently things are working. Our numbers are down. So year to date, we're down 16%.
Okay.
But let's keep them vigilant, and we can beat this number.
Be in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
Yesterday we hit 2 camps.
I was speaking to my lieutenant over the community oriented policing unit today. They've even gone out further and are identifying homeless camps in our areas.
That one is active, but nobody was there.
And believe it or not, we actually have some of the homeless people selling heroin. And that's all part of community policing, knowing the people in your neighborhoods. It's a good feeling coming in knowing that what we're doing, what we've put in place is working. Everybody in the district is, I guess we'd say, hitting on all cylinders, from our traffic unit to our cops units to the patrol deputies. The numbers are going down. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Well, Captain Schaefer has been a hard-working guy all of his career. And as from this piece, you can see that he spent a lot of time down in a pretty tough neighborhood. And obviously, there have been some significant changes there now.
Yeah, we've had our ups and downs down there, but in the last few years, you have seen a pretty steady decline down there in crime.
And I think that the residents are grateful for that, but they're also helping us in that area as well.
Sure. Well, as many of you know, Sheriff Stubbe will soon be retiring at the Sheriff's Office.
I do solemnly swear.
Sheriff Stubbe was appointed in 2007 when then Sheriff Charlie Wells decided to retire.
And that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Sheriff
of
Manatee County, on which I am now about to enter. So help me God.
So help me God. From the records clerks that provide you the copies of the reports, to the dispatcher that takes your complaint and dispatches the deputy, to the deputy on the road that responds to your calls for service, to the corrections deputy in charge of the care and custody of the nearly 1,400 inmates in our jail. They are here for you. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is blessed to have some of the brightest, caring, and dedicated men and women who are committed to solving your problems, whatever those problems may be.
Hello, I'm Brad Stubbe, Sheriff of Manatee County, and this is the Manatee County Sheriff's Office.
Is gang life what you want?
I wanted to be cool, I guess. Selling drugs, robbing.
The gang issue is becoming more and more prevalent in our state.
Papers, dog.
Aggravated assault, burglary, possession of cocaine, shooting into a dwelling, attempted murder, criminal mischief, carrying a concealed firearm, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And I'm hoping the rest of the gangs are getting this. You know, I hope they read your newspaper and watch you on TV so that they understand that BPL was first, SIR 13 was next, and we're going after more. We're not done. We're not done by any stretch of the imagination here. Because of a senseless act of violence, we lost Stacy Williams III. All right. We picked up William Cumber at the Charlotte County Correctional Institute this morning and transported him to our jail where he has been charged with the murder of Sabine Musser Bueller. Well, I have to tell you, the most frustrating for me is each time we'd get a tip and we'd go to these locations and we'd either search with the ground penetrating equipment, or we'd go and search with the cadaver dogs, or we'd go and search with our front end loaders on the beach, just hoping that we would find her body. We want to do nothing more than solve these cases for the victims' families. I would hope that the public glean from this. If a case that one of their loved ones is involved with that is unsolved, don't lose hope, because we don't lose hope. If you'll go back and look at the violence and the statistics in Manatee County, you can go back about 4 years and it starts going down a little bit. And we believe it's because of what we've been able to accomplish here. And we hope now that the public realizes that we haven't given up. I mean, when you're talking about 3 and 4 years here where some of these crimes, and really back in 2007, we did not give up. And I want that message to be clear to the community. We will never give up on this.
Y'all can be seated. Wow, got a big class here. How are y'all doing? Good, good to see you.
We're going to invest a lot in you. We want all of you to make it through. This is our 42nd Corrections Academy that we've conducted. There's a lot of people here today that have worked hard to make sure that you have one of the finest sheriff's offices in the country. We're extremely proud of our organization, and I hope that you become extremely proud, and I hope that you treat it well. So in 2015, Manatee County was known #1 in the state out of the 67 counties as having the heroin addiction, heroin overdoses, and heroin deaths. I don't think that that's a distinction that any of us in Manatee County, whether we live or just drive through here, wanted to have. It was out of control. But now I want you to go since January of this year. We have not had one overdose death. And that's because of investigations that have been going on and the men and women that have been involved in this.
Well, one thing you could say, it certainly hasn't been quiet.
Oh, Lord, no. We've been very, very busy. But, you know, the men and women at the Sheriff's Office, they're amazing people, just amazing people, and what we've been able to accomplish. And 38 years here at the Sheriff's Office, I've seen not only our employees grow up, but the children of our employees go up.
That's
so
true.
It's time.
Well, Sheriff, it has been a pleasure, and we'll see you down the road.
You guys have been really good here. Charles Clapsaddle, METV, Randy Warren, Dave Bristow. It's been just an amazing time with this show, and I've really enjoyed it.
Well, that'll do it for Sheriff's Patrol. Remember, you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter by going to our new website, manateesheriff.com. For Sheriff Brad Stubbe, I'm Dave Bristow. So long, everyone.